Hey there and welcome to Dark Blue Nutrition. My name is Katie and I'm a registered dietitian and certified personal trainer. And today we're going to talk about what makes a protein bar healthy, or how you can pick the healthiest protein bar. Now, I think it goes without saying that there is a wide variety of protein bars out there, and not all of them are ones that I would highly recommend. I do have a few favorites that I'm going to share at the end of this video, but first we're going to talk about what I think makes a solid protein bar, and then we'll talk about a few of my favorites, and then we'll kind of put them to the test to see if they measure up to my own standards, because I can sometimes go against my own advice. Now, the first thing that I think makes a protein bar a solid and well-rounded protein bar is that it is about 180 to 250 calories. Now, I'm not a big calorie counting type dietitian. I actually really like going against the calorie counting thing, but I think it is healthy for reference just to know what is a solid post-workout or even pre-workout snack. Now, if it's a pre-workout bar, I might aim on the lower end from 100 to 200, just because you don't want to have a huge thing on your stomach before a workout. But if it is something that is a post-workout snack, then that's where the 180 to 250 calorie range kind of comes in for me, because you want to make sure that you are refueling enough after your workout, because you just burned a lot of energy, you just use your muscles, and now you have to refuel them with hopefully some carbs and protein. Which leads me to my next criteria. It needs to have a blend of carbs, fat, and protein, ideally. So if it's a pre-workout snack, then you really don't have to worry. Carbs are the main source of energy you're gonna wanna have for a pre-workout snack. But if it's a post-workout snack, you're gonna want carbs, fat, protein, because you're refueling your muscles and you have plenty of time now to digest all of those things. So focus on a more carb-heavy bar if it's pre-workout, and focus on a bar that's more balanced with carbs, fat, protein if it's post-workout. The next criteria that I have is, does it have a decent amount of fiber? So maybe 3 to 5 grams of fiber. Fiber is something that helps keep us full, and it also helps our GI tract, so we're having normal bowel movements, so that is a positive thing for us. So I like to see a protein bar have some fiber, just so it can have that added benefit if it is a regular part of your routine, because we all need a little more fiber in our diet. So to me, that is just an A+. Now, there is a caveat to this. Sometimes protein bars add in fibers like chicory root, which can be very irritating for your stomach. So if it is a fiber, try to make sure that you don't see anything like chicory root, because that is an additive form of fiber that can cause GI distress. Which leads me to my next criteria. It shouldn't have any irritating ingredients. So this can be kind of individual depending on what irritates your stomach, because some people are affected differently by different ingredients. So as I mentioned with chicory root, a lot of times most people are affected by chicory root, but the way my stomach reacts to a small amount of chicory root might be more extreme than how your body reacts to it. So definitely just test it out. And I recommend testing it out when you're working out at home before you try a new product and then go to the gym or do a run or anything like that, where you kind of aren't sure how your body's going to react to it. Look out for sugar alcohols too, because certain sugar alcohols can cause GI discomfort if they're in too high of an amount. Now, sugar alcohols usually end in OL, so erythritol, xylitol, maltitol, things like that. Those are all sugar alcohols. But the confusing thing about sugar alcohols is not all of them are kind of created the same. So erythritol, for example, is usually pretty overall accepted in the stomach without any GI issues. So most people don't have too big of an issue as long as there's not a huge amount of erythritol in the food. There are certain ones that really do, so I think that this is one of those things that you'll have to test out for yourself and see if you have any GI discomfort when you try it at home. Now I'm gonna shift to some of my favorite protein bars, and I will share a couple that meet all of these criterias, and not all of them are created equally, so I think you'll learn a couple bars that maybe you can add to your own shopping list for different reasons. So let's get into that. The first bar that I recommend is the Tone It Up protein bar. They recently have reformulated this, so I'm interested to discuss it with you guys and see if I still agree with myself on the ingredients, because I think they slightly changed the ingredient list. Nonetheless, I still love the Tone It Up girls and I love their products, so most of the time they create amazing products that you just can't beat. So these bars are crispy and crunchy. They are high in protein, higher in carbohydrate, and I would say moderate in the fat department. So I think this is a really well-rounded protein bar. Let's see. I will leave a link to them in the description box below. But I highly recommend these because they really don't melt in your purse. So it's perfect if you're a college student, or if you're on the go a lot, or if you need something in your gym bag for a post-workout snack. Now, I did notice looking over the ingredient list that they added chicory root fiber, and I'm kind of upset about it. Tone it up, girls. If you are watching this, you were probably not, but if you're watching this, try to find a different form of fiber to put in your bars, because the thing about this is if you're having this as a pre-workout snack and you're gassy at the gym, it's just not fun. Is it ever fun to be gassy? Probably not. Now, this one only has 3 grams of fiber. Definitely not the same quantity of chicory root as something like a Fiber One bar, which is another example of a bar that has chicory root. It's not going to be as extreme as that, but nonetheless, if you have a very sensitive stomach, it could. So I will get back to you guys and let you know if the new formula messes with my stomach at all. I have a feeling it should be fine. 3 grams is not that much, but nonetheless, I just don't love that ingredient. The next protein bars that I really like are the Power Crunch. Now, I will be the first to admit that these aren't like the end all be all best in terms of like ingredients. I think it's kind of like on the more processed side, more desserty side of protein bars. Nonetheless, I am not a perfect human being and I'm okay with having something that is processed, but you can make the decision for yourself if you're not a huge fan. So these are made mostly with whey protein as the first ingredient, and they're essentially like those wafer cookies, except in the form of a bar. I would consider these probably more of a post-workout snack and or just a dessert. They're not really that filling, to be perfectly honest, and they're higher in fat than the Tone It Up bars. Not necessarily a bad thing, just a comment. They also have high protein and they have low carbohydrate. So it doesn't necessarily perfectly align with the ratios that I mentioned earlier of trying to aim for carbs and protein and then a little bit of fat. It kind of has a good amount of all three. Again, not a bad thing, just a commentary. I might have this with like a banana as a post-workout snack, just so you can have adequate carbs to refuel after a workout if this is your post-workout snack. So again, these are really good. I love the chocolate mint ones. They taste really good. Wouldn't recommend them like all the time, but this is kind of like a treat that I have, and I pair it with something like a banana after a workout. And then my last recommendation I don't have with me because I ate all of mine, but I love Perfect Bars. Specifically the Perfect Bar Minis. Now they're mostly made with almond flour, peanut butter, honey, and a couple different ingredients. So they are mostly like almost like eating peanut butter in the form of a bar or eating almonds in the form of a bar. So if you're not down for peanuts or almonds, you probably won't love Perfect Bars. I personally do. I think they make a really good end of the day snack. Now, if you are having a Perfect Bar that's a Perfect Bar Mini as a post-workout snack, I would highly recommend adding it with maybe something like Greek yogurt and a banana, because then you're getting fat, protein, and carbs. In that bar, it is mostly just a higher amount of fat that you're getting. So it is considered a bar, not really considered a protein bar, I guess, but it fits in that bar category. But with those bars, if you want to have a well-rounded snack after your workout, then I highly recommend pairing those Perfect Bars with something just so you can get all the categories met. Now, if you'd like more support on pre and post-workout snacks, I have a pre and post-workout snack guide, and I will leave it in the description box below so you can have that for free and join my email list, and that'll keep you up to date on all the new things in dark blue nutrition. I have some really exciting news coming soon. I'll let you in on it now. I am building a nutrition course, and the first course that I'm gonna build is the Mindful Muscles Academy for fitness for nutrition. So it'll be all of these types of things, all these topics that I'm going to talk about here on the channel into kind of one concise course to help you fuel your fitness and your active lifestyle and reach your goals without counting calories or macro counting, not obsessing over food or anything like that. So I'm so excited to bring that to you. I will keep you posted on Instagram, kind of give you an update on how things are going with that. This community has been so fun to just see grow over time, and I can't wait to see how it grows in the future. Love y'all, and thank you so much for joining me for today's video. I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.